Okay, y'all, here's how I made another $900 today. This was one of those days where it's a little confusing. It's one of those things where it's not obvious like yesterday. So sometimes, usually when this happens, it continues up for the rest of the day. This was the 8:30 news. That's why I get on at 9:30 now. I noticed when you got 9:30, it's a little better. The 8:30 to 9:30 hour, you kind of don't know where it can go. It can go either way. So this is what we saw. We tapped back into a 1 hour fair value gap like yesterday. However, when I got on, this candle was made already. So I was like, it could keep going higher for the rest of the day, but we are still in the downtrend. So it's kind of the same thing as yesterday, which is great. However, you need to wait for more confluences before you got on the trade, which it wasn't. So it's not as good risk to reward. So 1 to 5 basically. So we're still coming down, coming down, coming down. I originally was like, oh, it's going up, but this is why I don't trade a bias because this was my bias at first. Like it's going to come down, it's going to keep going higher. Then a part of me was like, well, we are in a downtrend. Um, so it doesn't have to really go higher. But what made me get into the trade? So this is what is it? Bullish fair value gap. Once we close below it to inverse, I was confident we were going down. However, this is a big fair value gap, and you saw from the fib, the 15% was down here, the 50%. So it could technically like come down to 50% and then go higher. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, and then we have this 1 hour fair value gap that I drew here, that's here, that I was like, it could go down into here to bounce off of. I did not wait for the close below that 1 hour fair value gap to get in, which is the ultimate, like 99% accurate, what you would do. However, once we closed above this swing low, because see, we came down, made a swing low, came back up. Once we closed above this swing low, that's when I got in. So we're below this fair value gap, and we closed below for our market structure shift. That was the confluences, and we broke below the EMA. My stop loss was above this high, even though on my trading view I didn't have a stop loss because I was confident in it. And or this is one of those days where if it stopped me out, I would confident just get right back in buys. And it would just go, it would be one of those days, it would just run up the rest of the day. But we had liquidity down here. That was my take profit. The next liquidity on the 1 hour, because there's no more, is way down here. Unless it just wants to go into this fair value gap, which it could, this fair value gap right here. And then reverse from there, which is fine as well. Or liquidity is down here, which are equal lows. So it could go all the way down there. But like I said, I always stick to the first one. And that's the closest one as well. Like the next one's kind of far down. And yeah, it could even come down here to keep going up the rest of the day. This is a good trade. This is one of those days where you could get faked out. But like I said, I like to wait for the market to tell me where it's going to go. I don't just say, oh, we're in an uptrend. We're going to pull back into the red gap and I'm buying buys. Because I saw a guy in buys on live on TikTok. I was not. This candle almost got me in the buys. I was ready, but I need a full candle close above this trend line. I don't really trade trend lines, but see how it's like a straight down? It's not really like swing low, swing high. It's not really zigzaggy like it usually is. That's when I use trend lines. So basically, once we broke above the full candle close, I was going to get in. So I had my like sell order almost ready here and it did not close above. However, I did get in early on this candle. See how it didn't close below? It went up. So I was like, oh no, I might get stopped out. However, I didn't. It wound up next candle going my way. And yeah, that's it. Just let the market tell you what it's gonna do. And honestly, I don't know how this was a $900 day. I feel like this move was smaller than yesterday, but I guess maybe yesterday I was just very zoomed in. Yesterday, I looked for my 1 to 11, but hey, I will take it. It's looking good. Two $900 days. I really enjoy NQ, honestly. And yesterday, I used 7 contracts. They only used 5. So the moves have just been moving. So yeah, the moves have been moving.